Everyone's talking about the government shutdown like it was just some political drama or a disaster, and it was hugely disastrous. But since many things can be true, I also found a cosmic recalibration, and it's a really good sign. Now, pay attention because I'm going to show you three things you could do to receive this upcoming gift of good fortune from the universe. All right, so the first thing that you have to understand about the universe is that what just happened with the government shutdown is volatility. Now, volatility is when those lines go up and down like that. Okay, up and down, up and down. A good example, we all know somebody, someone that is in a relationship and always fighting and making up, fighting and making up. Chances are, if you pay attention, the way that they fight, though, as far down as they go with the fight, you will find then the very next day they've made up. And just as low as they've got, that's as high as they've got. Right. So this has happened throughout history. As we have historical lows, you should expect a historical high. That is called the law of volatility. So the first thing that you should do concerning that is redefine your relationship with wealth. I'm not talking about income. That's money coming in. I'm not talking about being rich. That's $1 million. I'm talking about wealth management. Wealth is the retention of resources when nothing is coming in. And that's what a lot of people are having to do. When the government shut down, people lost jobs. Subsequently, businesses that depended on the employees for business went down as well. Unemployment is rising. Things are just going downhill. So what does that mean for you? What it means is it's a good opportunity to redefine the wealth. So as you're cutting back, as you're making lifestyle changes to survive, it is very important to keep that vibration because in the future, things will go back up. So with wealth management, some things that I am doing is learning about wealth in actually working towards sustaining my money. The point of wealth is if no more money is coming in, you've got money in reserves. All right. That's your FU bag, if you will, your reserves, your retirement plan, whatever you have. Wealth is cutting back those little corners and putting it into a bank. And in step two, I'm going to show you all about wealth management and what that means for the next step. So the second step is returning to your basics. Reset your personal economy. The volatility forces people to have self-resilience. And then so what happens with people? Well, they're cooking more. You're probably cooking more. I'm cooking more. I'm actually cooking my Thanksgiving meal. And I'm really excited about it because it's going to be the way that I want. I started cooking a little bit more. And it's not that my pocket personally has been impacted, but the mood and the vibration of the overall universe specifically for our plane has changed and I changed with it. So I'm cooking a lot more. That's so much fun. I've made my own butter now because I'm seeing a lot of influencers and people out there are just making their own things like butter, buttermilk, bread. All of that is fun. But what that does for you is that takes you back to the basics. And so that's a sign from the universe that that's the move that you need to make. Take a step back. What does that mean for you? What does that mean for your family, your friends? So you're cooking something. I know a lot of people are growing things. What type of fruits and vegetables can you grow so you don't have to go out and buy it? Well, whether you realize it or not, that's wealth management because that's money that comes back into your pocket. Okay. Not anywhere else. You grow your own plants. That money was a return on investment that you put on the plants and the seeds because you're getting fruits and vegetables and herbs, from all of that. So actionable steps would be looking at things about your food, looking at your routine, looking at your budget, testing out your survival skills, because that's what's happening right now. People are having to check in onto their survival skills so that they can manifest more and make it out of it. A lot of people say that Black people are excellent manifestors because, we've been shut in and all these things. So when there's compression with the government or the times of right now, that Black people are great survivors. And I find that to be true. But also, what is true, wealthy people are wonderful survivors. They do the same thing. When the economy pulls back, they pull back. Okay. So there's rarely a point where they're putting out more than they're getting in. And so these little things are ways that happens. But one of the things you have to do is look at money as an infinite and all detailed resource. Okay. So that means you could go to the store, find $5. Somebody helps you out. That's wealth. You have to receive. And that's a whole nother lesson on receiving. But you got to get good with receiving and being mindful. I just went grocery shopping for Thanksgiving and I saved a lot of money. Why? Because I've been programming cutting back or going back to the basics, that I created this strategy. And this is good for you, that I created a strategy for grocery shopping by doing the law of assumption, where I actually start with my list. What am I going to cook? And I work from there. I save so much money because I'm not distracted. I'm not buying this. I'm not buying that. And that's something that you could do. If you don't know where to start with this. Just start making your grocery list. What meals are you going to make? Because if you start with the end, you will realize I don't need onions because I already have that stuff that you already have, stuff that you don't need. And when I bought this whole Thanksgiving meal for under $200 and it's enough for 15 people, I mean, that was the programming showing up from the universe. So that way, when things get better, I'm keeping that mindset. And the next actionable item, I'm going to actually reveal to you how this is so. So the third thing that you can do is build your counter move, kind of like I was alluding to before. So think about it. What's happening right now? A lot of people are in disaster. A lot of people are in crisis management mode. That sucks. It's true. But what could you be doing in that interim? A lot of businesses are not performing. People are distracted. But guess what? The need doesn't go anywhere for you. There's a need that you could fulfill. So as we're on this downward spiral of volatility, the government's back on. It just came back on. So we're elevating back up. And I don't know how long it'll take, but it's going to happen because of law of volatility. So your counter move during this phase is, what are you going to do that will immediately improve your life? It could look different for anybody. It could be, okay, well, everybody's at home. I'm going to take this opportunity to get in my fitness, learn about my heritage, learn some different foods that I could be cooking, connecting with family. That's wealth. That's wealth. Another example is, what opportunity are you preparing for? I already just said a lot of people are in despair. A lot of people are distracted. And so the demand doesn't go away. So how are you going to fulfill that demand? So you have to position yourself for that upwave. So it could be anything such as applying for jobs after these layoffs kind of simulate and kind of gets firm, because 6 months after massive layoffs also comes 6 months of improvement in jobs, more jobs. Are you buying and investing during this dip? Are you launching new content on a hot topic? Some influencers are not working right now. It's a good opportunity to get your programs out there, get your content out there, starting that business, okay, while the market has cleared some of your competitors. It's a gift from the universe, and those who are paying attention to it get to maximize on that. Let that be you. So I also have some evidence case studies for you that this happens in history once in a blue moon. So we'll talk about the pandemic. It had a historic rebound because the 2020 crash was catastrophic. But on the back end, we had record breaking stock rebounds. We had a surge in online business entrepreneurs, work remote, evolutionize, and people were able to be in that space. So whenever the universe brought us back up, they use that exposure to learn many things are possible and to address limited behavior. That's something people that are in tune to the universe are doing right now. What are you doing right now? Let me take it a step back further to my own journey, real quick. The 2008 financial crisis. So I was in school to be a journalist at the time, and it wasn't working out because the recession was happening. And I remember the professor was saying only 1% of people in journalism make it. And I felt like it wasn't going to be me. So then I switched over to human resources, which I was working with already. Fast forward a very long time, here we are in this weird space, kind of similar to that. We're taking a dip. So back then in 2008, when I made a dip to fully commit to human resources, and it gave me many, many years of abundance, I'm taking this opportunity to dip and to shift. Really good opportunity for you to dip and shift in. We don't know when this next opportunity will come. I don't know. But it happens every blue moon and you can maximize on it. So the law of volatility says for every low, like a crazy spike low, will be a crazy spike high. And you could prepare for that and begin to have the life of health and wealth that you deserve. And so whenever we go back up from this wave that we're in, there will be a new normal. But if you implement the things that you have learned, you will be able to maximize on the new normal. Our new salaries are going to go up. There's going to be new inflation. Things are going to be sturdy and stabilized. Things are more expensive, but people also make more. If you move and listen to the universe, to this cosmic recalibration, it could be a useful tool for you in your life for the next phase. So that's all I got for you today. Stick around and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.